Welcome to Cashflow Diary, a podcast where we discuss business, money, real estate, and the sharing economy. As a full-time real estate investor, entrepreneur, and all-around problem solver, I have had the privilege of developing individuals into powerful business owners. And today, the focus turns towards you. Our mission is to help you build your real estate empire by leveraging strategies to grow yourself, your mind, and your wallet. Let's get started. So Darren, do us a favor. Tell us a little bit about what you currently do and what attracted you to the short-term rental world. Why did you choose to join us?
So I'm Darren, which some of y'all follow me on Clubhouse. I've been an investor for over 20 years. I ended up with a mentor program over probably 15 years ago, which was Russ Whitney Group. Really took my business and catapulted it into the be able to do all the creative financing, all that stuff. It really made me super successful in real estate, even though I kept a full-time job, marriage, family, all kind of issues, all that crud. But ended up in the middle of all that 12 years ago. I bought a condo in Belize just because we love traveling. We were always looking for a place to buy overseas and just bought it. And it really, before I even knew about short-term rental, I fell in love with the idea of people wanting to go there and versus having to try to collect the money. Over the last 12 years, we've been looking to try to start getting into more short-term rental, just not really for sure how to do it. And then when I got on Clubhouse, all these different ways of people trying to make money, which wholesale is awesome, right? But it's not steady. Where I met you and Los, and all I ever hear y'all talk about is cash flow, cash flow, cash flow. And then I think about my condo, cash flow, cash flow, cash flow. Now, except for COVID hit, there's no cash flow. But I made a very strategic plan. Last year, I sold half of it, made profit, put money back in my pocket. So it kind of ended up being a win-win, good karma situation for me. And really intrigued with everything. And I really think that you can slingshot my business to a whole nother level. And I appreciate it. So I'm super ready. Just got to be able to dial in all this.
Just listen, because we will take you all the way as far as you want to go. So that's encouraging. I was just reading the name. And then when you started talking, I was like, wait, I know that voice. Because again, on Clubhouse, we're all just voices. Well, glad you're here. So that's perfect.
LaTanya's landlord told her that she was not going to be allowed to erect a storage on the property.
Yeah, no, I remember you saying that. But there's oftentimes just other things that can be converted, changed. And I'm curious as to why not, because that's an interesting, I'm really curious as to why would he not want you to do that? What his concern would be, because that's also a question I would want to know. Because
the response that he gave was it wasn't in the plans that were turned into the city of Houston.
What wasn't in the plans?
The shed being in the parking lot.
Now I understand what he's thinking, and I want to be able to apply what I'm thinking and see if there's not a middle ground to be able to get you what you need, because I would love for that to happen for you. All right.
Okay.
Perfect. What happened, et cetera, et cetera.
Anything that broke is fixed.
Oh, well, that's good. That's a good way to start. All right.
We had one guest in 711. 7 was our problem unit for this past week or so. One guest decided to take the door off.
I'm sorry, what?
You heard me. They removed the door. They took the shingles. I don't know what you call it. It was all taken apart. And we checked the cameras to see if they were moving anything in or anything out. There was nothing. We had one of our cleaners' husbands come and fix it because Pan American would have never gotten there in time because we had another guest checking in. We charged the guest $250.
Thank you. Good job.
So
okay,
that's
I just want to make sure they...
Yeah.
Sorry.
You heard me right.
Is this the front door?
Yeah.
Do we know why?
No.
Battery need to be changed in the lock?
Nothing. Everything's working just perfectly for some. I mean, I had the team check Vivint.
Yeah.
up and down because I said, are they moving furniture in or out? Like, what are they leaving? What are they taking? Nothing.
It's a double-edged sword with you, you know? Sometimes I want to know. Sometimes I'm like, wait, what? It's like it's one of those things where I was in my own space. And then you said I was expecting one of our normal weird things. And then you go and do something completely unheard of right there. Okay,
there
so
you go.
If I'm hearing you correctly, then the door came off, but we were able to get it back on. We did not miss a reservation and we collected $250.
Well, we haven't collected it yet. Let's not get carried away.
And we did put it in the review, right?
Yes.
All right. That is unique. Thank you. Was that a local person?
I don't think so.
Just continue to send them over to the attorney, because here's what's happening is that California again pushed out the moratoriums and all the stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it. And then just make sure we always send them, because remember, each time they do this, it's also technically leverage in terms of. It's also disturbing when the guest, it's posted on the door, and that guest has been with us since April. Or no, she's been with us since July and is staying until April. The reason I'm saying that is because that's exactly why they get fined for doing it, because they're not supposed to. That's the frustrating part, is they're not supposed to. They're doing it anyway. They know what they're doing. And that's why each time they do it, like literally every notice is basically $2,500 fine or potential $2,500 fine. So that's why I just keep saying, please send it to Richard, because he's got the stack and he's just doing what he's supposed to do. And it's just like making.
All right. Well, this one was a bit different because it said 5 days. So,
well, they all.
To respond.
I understand. And yeah, I know it was a lot today, but it's just that there's a lot going on in the marketplace, guys. A lot of resources are coming together. Where there is chaos, there is cash flow. This is what I mean by it. You've got a number of landlords in your local area right now who are hoping you help them. They just don't know you're there. And if you begin to open your mouth and voice and answer questions and be of service, then guess what? People who have the problem will seek you out. Become the problem solver everywhere you go. Any questions before I jet? Yep, go ahead, Mike.
Yeah. Sorry. Thank you. Yeah, I have a question about, you know how your stance has been with apartment buildings. Before you got deep into short-term rentals, what is that now? Is it the same? Do we still look for like 2 and 3 in apartments, not just 1 bedrooms?
Absolutely. Even more so now, because your customer types now are willing to use you just heard Della. She said we had July. So they're using I didn't even know they've been here since July. That's crazy. Like, crazy in my head. This is now the longest we've had somebody. I didn't even know that. But let me say it this way. Every pandemic changes real estate in 2 ways: how it is used and how it is built. So there's already been that shift towards the work from anywhere. So your bigger properties, your 2 and 3 bedroom apartments now are more valuable because, hey, we can set up an office. There's a place for me to work. And whereas pre-COVID, y'all know I was avoiding them. But now I want them because the customer is telling us, listen, they're saying it. I want to come and we're going to work here for a little while, and Susie needs a place to sit at the desk and still do her schoolwork, etc. Or that's why. So the customer will continue to educate us. But yeah, your bigger spaces, Mike, all day long, especially now. And if you're going to do the insurance work, do it now. Because I called over to ALE Solutions yesterday. They had 14 families looking for a place to stay yesterday. Which is why I went back and started negotiating for those 5 2-bedroom units. I did it in that order. because I was wondering if ALE Solutions would even be open to this particular area. So I was like, once I found out, I'm like, okay, well, cool, let's go back. And that's just how there's so much need right now. Understand, there's 14 families. I'm only getting 5. There's 9 more. And that's just one zip code, or sorry, one city. So yes, absolutely. Thank you for tuning in to the Cashflow Diary podcast. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please subscribe, share with a friend, and leave a rating and a review. If you'd like to keep the conversation going, head over to CashFlowDiary.com to sign up for our email list, as well as check out all the links and resources in the show notes. Thank you again. Until next time.